Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Trio of elite clubs chasing ambitious Arsenal transfer raid, deal likely to cost 120 million euros plus. Arsenal defender William Saliba is being tracked by Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. Sources close to the situation have informed CaughtOffside. Although there is little prospect of the Gunners selling Saliba for anything other than crazy money, at least 120 million euros or probably more, there is understood to be strong interest from these three elite clubs as they rate the talented young Frenchman very highly. Saliba has firmly established himself as one of the finest defensive players in world football in recent years, and it would be a huge blow for Arsenal to lose him as they aim to get back to the top in the Premier League and become serious challengers for the Champions League as well. Thankfully for Arsenal fans, Saliba has a contract until 2027 at the Emirates Stadium, so there is little pressure to let him go, though one imagines the 23-year-old might find it hard to say no to some of these big names involved. Arsenal used to sell their star names, much to their detriment, as they lost the likes of Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Fabregas, Robin van Persie and Alexis Sanchez during their peak years. They won't want to make the same mistake again, as it cost them success in the past, and someone like Saliba surely has it in him to be a real leader for his team for many years to come. Arsenal have made so much progress under Mikel Arteta, and Saliba is surely going to be someone viewed as untouchable for the foreseeable future, alongside others like Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. Real Madrid would surely love to have a Galactico of this kind. However, while we all know PSG like to sign the best French players if they can, so this story won't be completely going away anytime soon. Finance expert details how much he feels Arsenal will pay for Sterling this season. Finance expert Stefan Borson believes it's likely Arsenal will pay around £6 million for Raheem Sterling this season. Sterling joined the Gunners on a season-long loan deal on deadline day from rivals Chelsea after being told he was no longer part of the club's project. The 29-year-old was one of several high-profile players who were training with the Chelsea's under-21 side, and were it not for his late move to the Emirates, the England international faced the prospect of playing no football until January. It's fair to say Sterling didn't live up to expectations at Stamford Bridge following his £50 million from Manchester City in 2022. Despite showing glimpses of what he can do, the winger undelivered and was even booed by Chelsea supporters last season. Sterling still has 3 years left on his current deal, reportedly worth in excess of £300,000 per week, with Chelsea believed to be contributing at least to more than 50% of his wages. The Blues reportedly won't receive a loan fee either and have very much just kicked the problem 12 months down the line, but they will likely be grateful to have a portion of Sterling's huge wages off their books. Finance expert Borson believes Sterling will end up costing Arsenal around £6 million for the season, with the winger in line to make his debut against Tottenham in the North London derby next week, and he said, "It's one of those needs-must deals. We understand he is on over £300,000 a week, and we know Chelsea will continue to pay the vast majority of that. A lot of the numbers that have been talked about are £100,000 a week that is being paid by Arsenal. Overall, you are looking at Arsenal getting a player for maybe £6 million for a year and then handing him back to Chelsea as a player who is 30 and will be 31 in December 2025. Therefore, you would think there will be limited resale possibilities. It's a real damage limitation from Chelsea." 24-year-old admits Arsenal's spell was a difficult period in his career as a future to be decided in 2025. Arsenal star Fabio Vieira has described his time in North London as difficult, having secured a move back to Porto with the Gunners set to decide the midfielder's future in 2025. The Portuguese star arrived at the Emirates Stadium during the summer of 2022 as part of a £34 million deal with Porto. However, amongst high hopes for the midfielder, he failed to cement a regular starting spot in Mikel Arteta's team. The former Porto star returned to the Portuguese Giants, but there is no option to buy clothes in his loan deal, reports Fabrizio Romano. The transfer journalist states that Arsenal want to assess the 24-year-old situation in 2025, which is the reason for a buy option not being included. The current campaign is a big one for Vieira in order to impress Arteta as the midfielder received just 561 minutes of action last season, although the player did miss a large chunk of the campaign with a groin injury. Vieira has now opened up about his spell with the Premier League club and admits that it was a difficult time during his short career. Speaking to the Portuguese sport paper O Jogo, Vieira has described his time at Arsenal as difficult and is looking forward to developing his game further at Porto this season. He said the following: "The idea of returning came from me. I love this club and I'm going to give everything on the pitch. I'm happy. Obviously, it's my home. I'm looking forward to being at the stadium, playing in front of these fans, and doing the best I can for this club this season. It was a chance that, above all, came to me because it was something I already wanted to play. I had a difficult time in England, an operation, and at this moment, I felt that Porto was a good opportunity to continue growing and developing. I felt that this was the right place to do it this season." Player's agent has offered him to Arsenal and Tottenham. Star wants £200,000 a week. Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur have been linked with a move for the French international midfielder Adrien Rabiot. The 29-year-old is a free agent after his contract with Juventus expired earlier this summer. According to a report from Team Talk, the midfielder's agent has offered the player to Arsenal and Tottenham. The midfielder would prefer a move to London this summer, and it remains to be seen where he ends up. The player is reportedly demanding wages of around £200,000 a week. It will be interesting to see if all Arsenal or Tottenham are willing to pay that kind of money for him. Signing a player of his quality and experience on a free transfer would certainly be an excellent bit of business, but his wage demands could scupper any potential move. Arsenal need more quality and depth in the middle of the park, and Rabiot will help them control games better. His ability to add calmness and composure from the deep and recycle possession could prove to be very handy alongside Declan Rice. He could form a solid partnership with the England international. At Tottenham, they have sanctioned the departures of Oliver Skipp and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. The 29-year-old could be the ideal acquisition on a free transfer. It remains to be seen whether they are ready to get the deal done in the coming weeks. The 29-year-old will look to sort out his future and get back to playing regularly once again. A move to the Premier League will be an exciting challenge for him at this stage of his career. He has the physicality and technical attributes to do well in English football, and he will look to establish himself as a key player for Arsenal and Tottenham. Striker's incredible form shows Arsenal were wrong not to sign him. Most Arsenal fans will probably agree that they could have done with a new striker this summer, and one of the names linked with them a few times was Sporting Lisbon star Victor Gores. The Sweden international made a real impression in his first season in Portugal last term, and that led to the Gunners apparently making him their top target up front at one point in the summer, according to a report from Corriere dello Sport. For one reason or another, the deal never happened, and now Gores' incredible early season form will surely be filling Arsenal with regret. Victor Gores has already made 15 goals contributions for club and country this season, with 10 goals and 5 assists. The big unknown, of course, is whether or not Gores could repeat this kind of form in the Premier League, as it would obviously represent quite a big step up from playing in Portugal, not to mention against international sides as weak as Azerbaijan and Estonia. The 26-year-old is clearly too good for the current level he is playing at. though, so it would surely make sense for him to look for a big move soon in order to challenge himself, which might mean Arsenal and other top clubs get the chance to try for him again in the near future. Arsenal would surely also do well to keep monitoring Gores as well, though, as form like this is going to make him very hard to ignore. It's been quite the journey for the former Coventry City man, who not that long ago couldn't get a game for Brighton before needing to move to the Championship to show what he could do. With only Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus to choose from up front, it's hard to imagine Gyökeres would have added something to Mikel Arteta's side this season, even if his numbers perhaps wouldn't quite be as ridiculous as this if he were playing in a more competitive league. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.